Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Geaux Stros. Game two. Game two. The Mariners at the Astros in Daikin Park. And we are going to be getting that first pitch in probably about 10 or 11 minutes. 1 second. Excuse me, guys. I had to sneeze, and I wanted to get my microphone off so I wouldn't destroy your ears. Now I have to mute. I don't know about you, but typically my sneezes come in threes. Right now I'm listening to another streamer. I started listening to him actually a couple of years ago, several years ago. He's an Orioles guy. His name is Orioles Birdwatcher. And the Orioles have just been struggling big time. 16-33 right now they are. Can you believe that? Sounds like the Astros last year, right? 16 wins and 33 losses. So difficult to beat him right now. It's got to be so discouraging. It's bad enough as a fan, but I'm telling you guys, you have no idea. It's a whole other level of difficulty when you're a live streamer and you're wanting to grow your channel and you're following your team and they're just losing and losing and losing. It is so difficult to just, especially some of these games for me. I'm in Japan. Why would I get up at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. if they're going to be losing their game so much, you know? I'm going to tell him a message. I told him my apologies for your woes, Birdwatcher. As an Astros fan, I can understand 100%. Let him know I'm about to call game two. Mariners versus, or Mariners at, rather. Okay, where's my, here it is. All right, now I need to go to my channel, open up my live stream so I can see what we've got going on in the live chat, guys. I think we have no live chat messages yet, but let's see. I am right. 2 people following along right now. Okay, live stream seems to be working just fine. I got my really cool Ryan Gusto anime image. You see that? Ryan Gusto definitely doesn't look that intimidating. I gave my AI tool this picture of Gusto, of Ryan Gusto, and I said, can you remake his portrait for me, but make it into a very intense, powerful anime style image with his name at the bottom? It definitely did it. It definitely did it, but it doesn't really look like him at all, does it? Oh man, sometimes it makes a pretty good rendition. But if I want to get a version that's much more like the actual pitcher or the player, then I have to remake it a few times. But this one was so funny because it's like total opposite of Gusto. You know, it doesn't look like him, but I just had to keep it. It's so funny. I just love it. It's like maybe his final form. That's what it is. For those of you who watch the Astros, not the Astros, but those Astro fans of you who also like to watch anime or who have watched anime in the past, they will often use the phrase final form, right? Like two people are fighting and one person is beating the other and he thinks that he's going to win and he thinks the other guy is weak or whatever. But then the guy starts to laugh and says, "You haven't seen my final form yet." And he changes into a more powerful version. And the fight keeps going, right? And then maybe the other guy will start to get beat up and he think, you know, and then the other one will think, I'm about to win. And then that other guy says, "You haven't seen my final form either." It's like a never-ending cycle. And the funny thing is, even after they say final form, they might have another form, what they call the true form. You might say, "It's my true form." Pretty funny stuff. So that's why I think that maybe the picture of Gusto on the screen here is pretty funny. They're showing some highlights of Altuve's hits yesterday. Altuve had the opposite field sacrifice fly, then the solo home run, and then the 2-run home run. He had 4 RBIs. If you haven't seen the video already, I posted one last night. It is a short video, maybe less than 1.5 minutes, and it just shows all of Altuve's RBI hits yesterday. Hey, Jordan, nice to see you. It says, now you have a follower and a chat. Yes, nice. Yeah, it took a few moments for people to start rolling in. It looks like I've got half a dozen here right now. The game will be started in just a few minutes. I actually started the live stream a few minutes earlier than usual, which is kind of nice and comfortable. I was just looking at some information and commenting about the thumbnail that I have for Ryan Gusto on my screen. I had the AI create an anime version for me. I'm doing that with all of the pictures as the days go by. But this version of Gusto, it's just so it's just so not Gusto. but it's hilarious, so I've got to keep it. Jordan says, wait a second, and a like. Oh, thanks so much. Thanks so much for that. You're my first like, I'm sure. After my own. I always like my own live stream. I don't know if it helps, but I like to think so. Gusto the Busto. That's right. Maybe Busto is his final form, Jordan. So the Mariners are beating up on Gusto, and then he says, "You haven't seen my final form," and then he turns into this anime image, and he becomes Busto. That's right. That's right. Gusto the Busto. Mucho gusto. Mucho gusto. It's interesting because the word gusto in English, of course we say gusto. In Spanish it's gusto. But in Japanese it's gasuto. Gasuto. And there is actually a franchise, a family restaurant franchise in Japan called Gusto Cafe, or Cafe Gusto. And in English they spell it just like gusto or gusto, but it's pronounced gasuto. And I really, really like going there for breakfast. It's the best, most available, convenient, and affordable place for breakfast. But not now. I am living out in my Cominca now. It's a rainy day today. It was a wonderful day for me to sleep. This is the best sleep I've had in a long time. Yeah, there's Busto. It doesn't look like him at all, does it? He doesn't look like an aggressive guy. He looks like a very timid guy, or at least a quiet guy. But yeah, I'm running on Starlink today, guys. I've got my new internet up. Even though it's a rainy day, I've got my satellite dish set up outside. It's what you call an articulating disc, or articulating dish, rather. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it just means it can move by itself. It's able to track and move around and get the best signal and stay locked on the best connections without me having to change it at all. Yesterday, I finally got that set up in the best spot for now. I can't yet put it on top of my house, and if you saw my house, you'd understand why. It is a massive house. It's very, very big, but it's also very tall. And to get on top of it would require scaffolding, and that's not a joke. So, in order to get the dish in the most optimal spot, I would need to get my butt either into a laboratory to get bitten by a spider, like Spider-Man, or I would have to get some scaffolding. I think scaffolding is more likely. This game is on the way, guys. The first pitch is a strike from Busto. He's pitching against J.P. Crawford. Next pitch is on the way. Oh, my scoreboard just disappeared. Why is that? Where's my scoreboard? Oh, I see what happened. There it is. Okay, there was a foul ball. There's 2 strikes. I had a little problem with my scoreboard suddenly disappearing, but it's back. We're all good. Another foul ball. The count remains 0-2. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. 26 years old from Charlotte. Gusto the Busto, says Jordan. Crowd looks a little sparse today. Next pitch is right in there. Gusto starts off with his true form, and that's called strikeout form. The true form of Ryan Gusto is strikeout mode. That's what we're talking about. 1 away here in the top of the first. Astros are cooking with gas. That brings up Jorge Polanco. Polanco takes that first pitch high and outside for ball 1. Thank you all for being here today. I got about 8 watching now. Jordan says, I love the Japanese, especially soup made with pollock eggs. Man, you can get so many interesting foods here. It's true. That's bounced foul. 0-2. Oh, no. My bad. 1-1. 1-1. I'm getting lost here. Forgive me. It's early. It's not too early here. Actually, it's only about 9:15 in the morning. But I haven't had my cup of coffee. I'm still sipping on it right now. Next pitch is in the bottom outside part of the zone for Strzeak 2. Nice little toss from Gusto. Looking good so far. Keep it up, bro. Astros Houston says, much respect to Hiroshima team fans of baseball. Do you like the Carp? I'm a Carp fan. That one's about a foot outside. Counts even 2-2. 2 Polanco. 2-2. 2 Polanco. Come on, Gassito. Let's get yourself another strikeout right here. Polanco not doing so well on the road, only batting .238. You're about to see the true form of Gusto. Here it comes. fouled off again. If you guys ever have any suggestions, I feel like I made a lot of good changes recently to my channel, and I'm a little happier with the way things are now. I'm still trying to make things more efficient, but if you ever have any suggestions, feel free to pass them along. The ball's in the dirt. Full count. Jordan says, even better than the anime. That's true. I bet Gusto would love it. He probably would. Any scary spiders there? Yeah, they've got some. And luckily they've got a couple that are really, really scary looking, but they're not dangerous to us. But man, they look terrible. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout. 2 in a row for Gusto to start this game off. That's right. The true form of Gusto is showing out. Gusto Busto. Gusto the Busto. Looks like Myers is in center field today, and Altuve in left, Cam Smith in right. Dubon will be at second base. And behind the plate is Diaz. Everything else is normal. Walker, Pena, Paredes. That brings up Julio Rodriguez. First pitch to him is hit high in the air. Looks like that's going to be out number 3. Christian Walker comes over to get it right by the base, and that's it. Puts him away. Good job, Mr. Busto. We go to the bottom of the first. Now let's see if the Astros can put up some runs. I'd like to see that. Yeah, guys, you know where I'm at right now in the countryside? A long time ago, of course, they used to have dial-up internet. You could get internet through the phone. And then they replaced that later with DSL. They never had cable internet out here. They never had cable TV or cable internet in this area, but they did have DSL. And they used the DSL up until January of 2023. And they announced, I was at that time I was trying to get internet for my house out here. And when I contacted the company responsible for that, they're called NTT. If you're wondering what that means, N stands for Nihon. Nihon. And Nihon is how you say Japan in Japanese. So the word for Japan in Japanese sounds nothing like Japan. It's Nihon. So NTT told me that, yes, we can get you DSL if you want it, but DSL will be discontinued in January of 2023. And at the time, it was only like 4 months away. So I could have gotten DSL for 4 months. And then I asked them, well, what about after that? If you're discontinuing the DSL, are you going to have the Hikari, which is the fiber optic line, installed? And they said, no, not yet. And I said, when are you going to have that? And they said, maybe in the next couple years, but we're not sure. Well, here it is now, 3 years later. Almost 3 years later from the time they told me that. And they still have no plans to have any fiber optic out here. And the reason for that is because there aren't enough customers. I'm literally in the countryside surrounded by rice and small mountains and forests. So that's why I had to get Starlink. Emerson Hancock is on the mound for the Mariners. Jeremy Pena is at the plate. First pitch fouled off. Strike 1. But the good thing is that it seems to be working fine for me right now. And I'm very happy about that. You have no idea how great it is to have the internet. That pitch is a little outside. Good take by Pena. Missed by a couple of inches. 95 mile per hour fastball. The count's even. Next toss from Emerson. Or Hancock, rather. Two balls and one strike. That pitch missing the zone. Next pitch. Swing and a miss, man. Nasty slider. The count is even again, 2-2. Hey, Mark, good to see you. Base runner screen or batting orders? Base runner screen. Well, batting orders. That's a good suggestion. Base runners are supposed to be actually on this scoreboard, Mark. They're supposed to be, but for some reason they're not showing, and I haven't been able to figure out why not. Still working on that, but thank you for mentioning it. All right. In the dirt, ball 3, full count. Good leadoff at bat by Pena, making Emerson work. I don't like seeing our pitchers work so hard on the first few batters, but I like seeing it for the opponent. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. That could have been a ball. It was a little inside, but you know what? I'll tell Pena like I tell everybody else. If it's even a little close, you got to swing. You got 2 strikes. You can't let that go. Out number 1, Pena goes down looking. George says, I work with many Japanese on fishing boats in the Bering Sea. Eat that soup and you feel invincible. They didn't eat the American food, only that soup. Yeah, actually, Japanese are pretty open-minded about trying all sorts of foods. Much more open-minded than Chinese. Chinese are so close-minded when it comes to trying different foods. 1 ball, no strikes to Isaac Paredes. Next pitch is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. I have to get used to the tempo of this pitcher. Here's the pitch. This one's hit up the middle. Should be playable by the right fielder, and it is. 1 away. It would have been nice if Paredes had been able to pull that ball, but 'tis what it is. 'Tis what it is. I'll have another crumpet. That brings up my hero. He gave me such a great day yesterday, he has no idea. Just like a koala, he has absolutely no idea. That's a little high and inside. Strike 1, but that 96-mile-per-hour sinker, I don't think I would have been swinging at that, and he didn't either. Can't blame him. Wasn't a great hitter's pitch. Next one is on the way. A couple inches outside. That's a good take. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, this pitcher moves a little faster sometimes. I kind of got to get used to it because I have to make a few clicks in between each pitch. I want to give you guys some little previews, but, you know, I call that a strike, but that's about 1.5 inches outside the zone. Calling him a little tough on Altuve. This umpire is calling several pitches on Pena and Altuve. 1.5 inches off the plate. 2 inches off the plate. Altuve goes opposite field. He continues the carnage. Opposite field single by Jose Altuve. With 2 strikes. That's right. Altuve looking hot now, isn't he? Sacrifice fly, solo home run, 2-run home run, and now a single. He is owning the Mariners at home right now. That brings up Yainer Diaz, who takes that first pitch way outside. Ball 1. Sayonara. Sayonara means goodbye. Are you telling me goodbye? Doste. Doste means why. Timeout. Somebody threw something on the field out in left field. It's a baseball, actually. Somebody threw a baseball on the field? Why would they do that? Excuse me, guys. That's weird. Somebody just tossed a baseball into left field. Here's the next pitch to Diaz. Way outside again. 2 identical pitches. Same result. Ball 2. Fox at bat. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Good day to you too. Altuve at first, 2 outs. Diaz goes to short, and they're going to toss it to second. And that's it. So they strand Altuve on first base after 2 outs. Kind of expected. Once again, the Astros come up with nothing in the first inning. They continue their last place, their MLB leading last place position, or next to last. I think maybe they're next to last. No. Let me get this straight. They are next to last in run differential. Run differential in the first inning. But they're last place, I believe, in runs scored in the first inning. It's around 11 or so, or around a dozen. So this whole season, this entire season, the Astros have only scored around a dozen runs in the first inning. Can you believe that? You can go down to the grocery store and buy a carton of eggs, and it has just as many eggs as the Astros have runs in all of this season's first innings combined. Kind of crazy. And Jordan, I see you got sayonara, but it's sayonara, sayonara, and it's a long O sound, so it's not sayonara, it's sayonara, sayonara. Only 2 letters to a word. With that a star, gusto, better work hard, yeah. Yeah, maybe this avatar will give him power. We'll see. Probably paid $50, Mark says, for souvenir baseball and dropped it on the field after $20 beer. Probably so. Probably so. You guys have no idea. I mean, the yen has decreased in value a lot, and a lot of things have gotten more expensive here in Japan. But I will say one thing. When I go to a cinema, go to see a movie, buy some popcorn, buy a drink, or go to a game and buy some food, like I go to a baseball game and buy some food or whatever, the tickets for the game, the food, the movie ticket, and all those things are so much cheaper. And every month, every movie theater in Japan, the first day of the month, everybody gets a discount. That's true at every theater. Just a little inside. Now, how's that for a movie tradition? Gusto is facing Cal Raleigh at the plate. Next pitch is on the way, the 1-0. That's in the bottom of the zone, 89 mile per hour cutter. Cutting into the count at 1-1. Trent says I've actually done that. Fouled back the 94 mile per hour fastball. High in the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gusto's ahead in the count. And he's rubbing the ball thinking, excellent. Rub that ball, you wizard. Maybe he doesn't even have to go to his final form because it's unnecessary against this team. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, another K. Third K of 4 batters for Gusto. Here's the replay in slow-mo. Yeah. Take that, Mr. Raleigh. 1 away here in the top of the second. We're cruising along. Randy Arozarena is at the plate. Here comes the first rock toss. A little far inside there. Almost clipped him. 1 ball, no strikes. Good days in Japan, says Astros Houston. Well, yeah. It depends on who you are, I guess. It's all about perspective, really. Here's the next pitch. That's in there. Half swing, check swing, but it doesn't matter. It was right in the top of the zone. Solid 95 mile per hour pitch. No doubter. Swing or not, that's a strike, my friend. 18 pitches now for Gusto. Here comes the next pitch. 1-2, or 1-1 rather. That's hit up the middle. Looks like Myers is right underneath it already. He'll put it away. No problem. Out number 2. 5 batters retired by Gusto. Rowdy Tellez comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch from Gusto. A little low and inside. I don't know why Tellez danced out of the way. Was he hugging the plate or something? Number 67 with 20 pitches. Here comes his 21st. That's in there. You can't argue with that one. Try to dance. Do your little jig there, Mr. Tellez. It won't matter. Why are you looking at the umpire, man? He's looking at the umpire like, you sure that was a strike? Dude, it was 3 inches above the bottom of the zone. It was perfect. Perfect. It was perfection. Your eyes are broken. Get some glasses. That pitch is grounded down the first base side. Tapped. A little tap, tap, taparoo. Walker scoops it up and just trots over and touches the base. 6 up and 6 down. The Mariners are getting a solid taste of powered up anime gusto. Busto. 2 innings of solid ball from Gusto so far. He is putting on a show up into this point with 3 strikeouts. 6 runners retired. 6 batters retired. Astros come up in just a moment, leading off with Christian Walker, followed by the Batman Victor Caratini and Jake Myers. Diaz is catching today. Caratini is in the DH spot. We're still waiting for Jordan to come back. Can you guys imagine if the Astros, as they are now, actually hitting the ball like they were yesterday, and then Jordan comes back and he catches on fire, and then we start to get some of our pitchers back and they return to their true form? How awesome would that be? This team would be unstoppable. Jordan says most of those first inning runs were in just a few games. Yeah. Well, they would have to be. But I think I know what you're saying. You're saying that maybe one or two of those games they scored a bunch of runs. That's likely. I don't know for sure, but you're probably right. Jordan says, I love hearing about other cultures. Yeah, I've been to 15 countries. It's not a lot, really. People think it's a lot, but it's easy to travel around throughout your life and get to 15 different countries. I've met people who've been to like 83 countries, and that's awesome. That's what I would like to do. But I do believe that for me, my preference is to go to a country and stay there for a little while and experience it. You know, I'd like to go to a country and stay there for at least a few months. Even if I'm not going to be living there or working there, it's nice to go to another place and hang out there. See you over there, Mr. Altuve. What you looking at? First pitch to Walker. That looks like a strike, and it is. 0-1. Here comes the next pitch from Hancock. Grounded straight to the third baseman on a 1 hop. That was a pretty hard hit ball, but he was able to handle it and throw him out at first base. 1 away on the line ground out by Walker. Victor Caratini comes to the plate. Jordan says a lot of youths here can't show Japan on the map. I've been there, and if you include being on a ship off the coast, close enough. It's pretty crazy that they can't find Japan. That's one of the easiest countries to find. Tell them to find Cambodia. That would be a challenge, I think. But to find Japan, that's pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. 1 ball, no strikes to Caratini. 20th pitch for Hancock coming up in just a moment. Ooh, man, there's that pitch on the outside. Misses by about an inch, but the umpire calls it a strike. Kind of a big strike zone for this umpire. Here's the next pitch. Well, the strike zone isn't that big, Mr. Hancock. High and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. About 16 people watching right now. Thanks for being here. Make sure you like the live stream. It really helps me out with exposure and all that good stuff. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off. The count is even. 2-2 to Caratini. 2 balls and 2 strikes. How many likes do we have right now? 12 likes? That's not bad. Not bad for early in the game. Let's get to 40 today. I want to get to 40. I want it. Caratini grounds it to first. Tellez makes a really difficult play over there, but the pitcher is on the base in time to get him out. Let's take another quick look at that. Just wasn't hit hard enough, quite hard enough for Caratini to get it through. Out number 2. If he had ripped it, definitely would have been a hit. That brings up Mr. Baseball, Jake Myers. First pitch to him is almost a foot inside. It's funny how it's almost a foot inside. He just kind of barely moves out of the way. But whenever one of the Mariners was up there, he jumped out of the way when it was just an inside pitch. It was barely a ball, and he like jumped out of the way. Foul ball. Count as 1-1. Wow. Jake Myers is number 4 in batting average this month. How do you like them apples? That next pitch is low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike with that 96-mile-per-hour fastball missing. A little wide. I need to make myself a nicer footstool to put my feet on. I have those blood control or blood flow issues. Fouled at the plate. Two balls and 2 strikes. Myers takes a short little siesta. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. No runs. Astros with 1 hit so far this game. It's the only number on the board at the moment. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Low and outside. We're going to have a full count. Emerson leading in the pitch count total so far. Gusto winning that battle. Pitching is half the battle. Swing and a miss on that 97-mile-per-hour pitch up in the zone. On 29 pitches, he gets through the inning. So Hancock has put down 6 of 7 batters. Altuve being the only one that he could not overcome. And we go to the top of the 3rd. This game is all goose eggs so far. So we can take a quick look at the chat, see what's going on. Jordan says, you did great. I had the perfect job for living in exotic lands and nothing. Time goes by so fast, especially the older you get. Cambodia has always been in my list. Well, you know, I will say this. I spent a lot of time in China. I lived there for almost 7 years, and during that time, it enabled me to travel to a lot of places in Asia, and especially Japan. It's really funny because while I was living in China, I traveled more in Japan than anywhere else because it was very cheap to fly over to different places in Japan, spend a few days, and then come back. So I was constantly traveling to Japan 2 to 3 times every year. Seriously. So I think I wound up traveling to Japan almost 15 times, maybe 12 or 13 times while I was living in China. And several of my Chinese students, they didn't like that. They knew that I went to Japan a lot, and they were always complaining about it because they have a severe inferiority complex that doesn't exist in Japan. Japan has no inferiority complex. They don't feel bad when you tell a Japanese person, you know, I lived in China and I'm going to travel to China to see my friends, or I'm going to go travel and see Beijing. They always say, "Oh, really? I'd like to go there. I'd like to go see that." You know, but many Chinese will say, "Why do you want to go to Japan? Why don't you just travel in China?" They really take it personally. You know. First pitch is crushed to right field. Is that gone? Are you kidding me? First pitch to Leody Taveras. It's gone. 1-0 Mariners, just like that. I guess Gusto wasn't paying attention right there. Man, look at this. 93 mile per hour fastball right in the middle of the zone, no movement. That is definitely not how you start off the inning, but now the Astros are down by a run. They're gonna have to have a little bit more effort. Got some more work to do to win this game. Outside of Mastroboni, ball one. Four-seam fastball missing outside. Here comes the next pitch. That's right in there. 79 mile per hour curveball. Count as even, 1-1. Here's the next toss. Gusto puts that one just a little too far outside on the changeup. Ball two. Mastroboni batting .207 this year. Taveras was only batting .219 for the season. .219! Woo! I'm surprised the umpire didn't call that a strike. It missed by about an inch on the inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Come on, Gusto, man. Go back to your first 2-inning form. Don't worry about these guys. Don't let that shake you up. It's just 1 run, bro. 1 hit, 1 run. No big deal. No big deal. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Way outside, ball 4. Mastroboni will go on base. So I'll lead off home run on 1 pitch and then a 5-pitch walk. No outs. Williamson comes to the plate. He's the 9th batter, so it looks like the Mariners will get to the top of the batting order again. Here's the pitch. Fouled off for strike 1. The cutter. Ben Williamson hasn't been playing long. Started in March, I think. His debut in the MLB. Let's see who can win this battle. Fouled off again. 4-seam fastball in the same location. 0-2. That's what I like to see. George says, I get lazy with typing on here. My spell check coupled with the auto submit drives me crazy. Crazy. Interesting. Gusto? What was that? Gusto got bustoed. Yeah, unfortunately. That next pitch is a little low and outside. Ball 1. Didn't get him to go after it. Good thought, though. Probably didn't have enough movement on it. Didn't look like it anyway. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This is hit to second base. No, yeah, second base. Toss to Pena. Over to first. They get the double play. Dubon with a really good catch and toss to Pena. I still catch myself. I can't call these plays as quick on second base because I keep thinking Altuve in my head. And so I get kind of tongue twisted there. But Dubon grabbed that ball, backhanded it, flipped it up to Pena, and they got the double play. So they erased the base runner just like that, and Gusto is giving them a round of applause. 2 away, 4-6-3. And the next batter comes to the plate, J.P. Crawford, and very first pitch, he singles up the middle. 2 first pitch hits this inning, a homer and a single. So as soon as Gusto gets rid of the base runner, we get another one right back on. J.P. Crawford. He just happened to hit it in the right spot, though. Speaking of Japan, they're giving out Hello Kitty plushes this Saturday at Daikin Park. That's funny. Diaz is going to have a little meeting on the mound with Gusto. Maybe that gives me an opportunity to make some more coffee. I'll go ahead and break out myself another coffee bag. Ah, yes. I love to open these these individual packets, these individual coffee pour-over bags. As soon as I open it, just put my nose right in there and give it a big whiff. But I want to heat this water up, so it's gonna be a minute before I get my hot water. I want to make that water super hot. Next batter is Jorge Polanco. 0 for 1 today. Let's go Polanco. 0 for 2. Let's make it happen. First pitch on the way with a runner on first, 2 outs. A little low and inside. The curveball missing. 1-0. Got around 11 people watching. Make sure you like the live stream. If you haven't subscribed, do so. And Gusto will be happy about that. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's another curveball, but that one drops right in there. Nice pitch. 79 mile per hour curve. The count is even 1-1. You know, I would really actually like to get some stats on the screen that update automatically so I don't have to do it, like the score, the pitch count, and stuff like that, because I have to do that manually. 1-1 pitch fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The bell rings out. Gusto goes over to first base. Crawford is back. 1-0 Mariners. Off that solo home run, the very first batter. Taveras. And now Gusto trying to get out of this inning. Swing and a miss. He gets another strikeout. That's 4 strikeouts for Gusto. So he does give up the solo home run, but he comes back with the double play and the strikeout. And we are going into the bottom of the third. Astros have at least 1 run to get back into this game. 2 runs to win it. Minimal. But I expect them to be scoring 5 runs this game. That's my minimal for this team. They should be scoring 5 runs per game. Per game. Let's make it happen. Jordan says, I lived in Seattle when they were really good. It took the Astros to move to the AL West to take down the evil empire. Yeah. You know, that was back in the day when I didn't have anything against Seattle. I mean, some of my favorite players when I was younger, especially Ken Griffey Jr. I remember when I was really big into collecting baseball cards, and that Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. I wanted that thing so bad. I tried so hard to get it. And my family was poor, so it was really a challenge to try to get it. And I never did. I never did get it. But I remember that time. I didn't have anything but good feelings towards the Mariners. And then, of course, they had Suzuki. Good old Ichiro. But I don't know. After those guys left, I feel like the Mariners completely changed their vibe. And I don't have as much respect for them anymore. Maybe them moving into the same division and losing some of those players, I don't know, just the combination of those things seems to have changed the vibe of the team and the city. But maybe the fans, I don't know. I think it's the fans, really, that I don't really like. Cam Smith is at the plate. Fouls off the very first pitch. A 95-mile-per-hour sinker. Strike 1. Astros gonna take the lead this game, this inning. Let's do it. 30 pitches now for Hancock. Here comes the next one. Fouls that one off again. 0-2 on Mr. Smith. So maybe I should do a Matrix style anime image of Cam Smith. 0-2. Here comes the toss. Fouled off again. Count remains 0-2. Man, every single ballpark in America is doing Star Wars night. Talk about a big moneymaker for Disney. That one's low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Man, this coffee smells good. 1-2. Here's the toss. That's grounded to the third baseman. He bobbles it for a second. He goes to first. Still able to get Cam Smith in time. If that had been a bouncer, Williamson wouldn't have been able to make that play. He's lucky that Smith hit that ball so hard. 1 away. That brings up Mauricio Dubon. You can see right here where he misplayed it. Just a little bounce. Probably didn't feel good to get hit under the chin with it. First pitch to Dubon is a little low. Ball 1. Come on, Doobie. Batting 9th in the lineup. Let's do something here. Let's Doobie do something. Let's Dubon something. Fouls that one off. That's something. It's better than missing the ball or taking a strike. How about we get a hit? That would be the best choice right now. That one goes right to the shortstop. He fires over to first. That's J.P. Crawford, I believe, at short. Makes the play, no problem. 2 away. Quiet inning so far, but remember, 2 outs. Jeremy Pena approaches the plate. The flash. When there are 2 outs on the board, that means that the Astros rally. And they start scoring runs. Maybe they'll score 4 runs this inning. Here comes the first pitch to Pena. Grounded at the plate. Astros are fouling off a bunch of pitches. Next pitch coming in just a moment. Hancock is set. Here comes the toss. Ooh, did he hit him? No. I think that hit Pena and the catcher. The catcher went down. Pena was hit twice yesterday, and he's hit again today. Pena goes to first base. Right on the elbow. That also hit the catcher. Well, Pena's on first base. The rally has begun. The 2-out rally has begun. Isak the ball Paredes comes to the plate with Pena on first after another hit by pitch. He was hit twice yesterday. 3 in 2 days. This game's not even over yet. Hancock goes over to first base. Boo, says the crowd. Boo. How dare you throw to first and try to get him out. Boo. Dozen people following along right now. It's a very modest crowd today, but thank you for being here. Make sure you like the live stream. I'd appreciate that. First pitch, Paredes is a little low for ball 1. Good take. Good take, Mr. Paredes. Senor Paredes. Mark says, I think I have a Yogi card. He was with the Astros. I can't remember that far back. Oh, Yogi Berra? Pretty cool. That'd be a cool card to have. Here's the next pitch. That's on the outside edge, 95 miles an hour for strike 1. That was a good one. Heck, anyone beating the Dodgers and Skanks, I'd be down with Jordan. Yeah, I agree. Especially the Dodgers can't stand them. Very unhappy about Ohtani going to the Dodgers. That one's in the dirt. I don't know how in the world the catcher caught that one. Great catch by the catcher. That would have been a definite move to second base for Pena, but ball two. It's 2-1. Jordan says, isn't that Roger Maris card worth as much as South Africa now? Well, South Africa has dropped in value tremendously in recent years. So you're probably right. 3 balls and 1 strike. That was a high pitch, way out of the zone. 3-1 to Paredes. Jordan says Seattle's a very rude place, but the Japanese are polite by contrast. Of course, of course. Yeah, Seattle, I visited Seattle one time. A friend was there. Unfortunately, I didn't have much time to stay. I just wanted to visit my friend and go to the original Starbucks place and stuff. It's a beautiful area, but, you know, they've had some problems. Paredes hits it out to left field. Is that crushed or no, or what? Yes, it is gone. I told you, 2-out rally. 2-out rally, guys. Paredes with a 2-run shot to the Crawford boxes. The Astros take the lead. What did I tell you? What did I tell yous? 2-run shot. The 0-2. Boom. 94-mile-per-hour sinker right on the inside, and Paredes pulled around on it. Right into the old Crawford boxes. That's right. What did I tell you? 2-out rally. And that brings up my man, Jose Altuve. Strike 1 to Altuve. They didn't show it on the screen. The next pitch is on the way. Altuve hits this one out to left field. Is it going to drop? Yes, it is. Look at that. Altuve with another single. 2 for 2 today. The rally continues. Altuve and the Astros got the message. They got the memo from me. The 2-out rally, rather. The 2-out rally has begun. They've got 2 more runs to get. I said they would get 4 this inning. Bloop. Perfectly placed. Nobody could get to it. That brings up Yainer Diaz. Diaz takes that first pitch up and in for strike 1. Altuve on first base. 1 strike to Diaz. Here comes the next pitch from Hancock. That one's up and in too. Diaz goes after it and misses it. 95 miles an hour. 0-2 is the counts. Hey, Diaz, 2-run shot. And that gives us the 4 runs that we need this inning. Here's the pitch. Little check swing on the outside. They're going to say he went around, strike 3. So Diaz does not get the memo about the 4 runs. But Paredes did. 2-1 Astros. That's right. That's right, baby. He socked that ball. We go to the top of the 4th. Astros up 2-1. Now let's check out the live stream and get caught up here. Oh, Honus Wagner. Yeah. Honus Wagner would be a nice card to have. Caesar, hello. Geaux Stros indeed. Good to have you back. Thank you for checking in. And let me pour some more hot water into my coffee cup here. Mark says, manager going to tell the first and second batters to get outs every inning. Yep, that's true. That's true. Just go up there and do your best to strike out. Swing at everything, but don't swing hard. And then we get to 2 outs so we can rally and get some runs. Jordan says, I'd love that Yogi Astro card. Never thought about it before. Always Paredes. Yeah, lately it's been always Paredes, but yesterday it was Altuve. It wasn't Paredes at all. Actually, I don't think Paredes had a hit yesterday. If he did, it was in the very end of the game. He might have. in the very end of the game. I can't remember if he got a hit at the end of the game or not, but he was like the only guy to not have a hit yesterday for a long time. Let's see. Let me go back and take a quick look at yesterday's game. Take a look at the game cast. Paredes grounded into double play, grounded into fielder's choice, flew out, hit by pitch, grounded out to third. That's right. Paredes didn't have a single hit yesterday. I was right. Yeah, it was strange because the Astros scored all those runs and Paredes didn't drive in anything. He didn't get a single hit, rather. Pretty crazy, huh? Astros score 9. Paredes didn't have anything to do with it. All right. Geaux Stros back up on the mound with 37 pitches here in the top of the fourth, facing Julio Rodriguez. Fouls that first pitch off. The 81-mile-per-hour Swiffer. I haven't seen him throw any of those yet. Throwing the Swiffer. 0-1. Rodriguez is 0 for 1 today with the pop-out. Here comes the next pitch. That one's popped back behind the plate for second strike. 0-2 is the count. Jordan, yeah. What's up with this guy dissing Bregman? Yeah, well, because he's got potential. No, not just potential. No, he's got talent. He's got talent. That's what I meant to say. He's got talent. He's really great in the field. And he's got power. They said at the beginning of the season that he was a good fit for Daikin Park, and he's showing it. Mark says, hit the ball, run to third. Yeah, do the opposite. 40th pitch from Gusto on the way. Little check swing low and outside. He doesn't go around. Ball 1. Count is 1-2. Jordan says, just imagine if a couple of our regulars get going. Yeah. If we had a few that were consistently going, and then Jordan came back and got it in gear. That's fouled out to right field. Looks like it's going to be out of play, so the count remains 1-2. All right. My coffee is almost ready. Just needs a few more moments to let that water settle. And I can drink it up and be happy, happy, happy. Here comes a pitch. Fouled off again. So much more comfortable here at my old house. I have so much room. These rooms are huge, guys. Every room here in my house is huge. This house is just one floor, but it is so big. Every room is like, oh, hang on just a second. Here's the next pitch. Fouled back again. Cutter 90 miles an hour. So he's throwing basically the entire kitchen sink at him right now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count remains. 3 hits for the Astros and 2 runs. 2 hits for the Mariners and 1 run. Astros way out ahead, 2-1. Astros destroying the Mariners 2-1 right now in the top of the fourth. Here's the next pitch from Gusto. Gusto Busto. Swing and miss. That's right. He pulls the old Busto on him that time. Yeah, you better yell. That's what you call a Rodriguez special. Okay. Strike 3, out number 1, and that brings up Rowdy? No, that's Raleigh. This guy's not big enough to be Rowdy. Rowdy Roddy Tellez. Do you guys remember Rowdy Roddy Piper? Strike 1 to Raleigh. Here comes the next toss. Ooh, nice curveball. He didn't go, but man, that was right in there. You should have swung at that, mister. 0-2. Beautiful. Cal Raleigh's picture on the screen is Jabba the Hutt. I think that should be Tellez. Tellez should be Jabba the Hutt. He's the biggest player out there on the field. Yeah, that guy's got the dad bod going on. 0-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch to Raleigh. Way high and outside. 1-2. 1-2. Yogi Berra must have signed a boatload of cards because the shipping costs more than the card. Wow. That's amazing. 1-2. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off sharply down the first base side. Foul. Foul, foul, foul. And normally when you foul them off, they are foul. Just to let you know. If you didn't know that, whenever you're a batter and you foul the ball off, it's normally foul. I love it when I say redundant stuff. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Is that going to be another foul ball? It is. This time to the opposite field. Beyond the third base side and out into the crowd. A souvenir for somebody. The count remains 1-2. The 50th pitch of the game coming for Gusto right here. 12.5 pitch average per inning so far. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout. How do you like that? Set him down. Another breaking ball curve. 81 mile per hour curve on the inside. The Rodriguez special also works for Raleigh. 2 away. That brings up Randy Arozarena. Hey, Arozarena. First pitch, a little high. Maybe about 1.5 inches out of the zone. 95 mile per hour fastball. Whoops. One fly out for Mr. Randy today. Here comes the toss. Wow, that's ripped into left field all the way out to the wall. That should be a double. Altuve gets out there and grabs it, brings it in, rolls it. Rosarena rolls into he rolls into second base. That was a rip. Just a missed pitch right there that Rosarena was able to capitalize on. But more importantly than that, my second cup of coffee is ready. I'm going to start drinking that. Heck yes. Now, the real dad bod, Rowdy Tellez, is at the plate. Pitch is on the way. Woo, man, that was right on the upper outside corner, but not exactly where Diaz was expecting to catch it, so his reaction fooled the umpire. Ball 1. 3 hits now for each team. Runner on second. Here's the pitch to Tellez. Right in there, 87 mile per hour changeup. Count is even. Even Steven. They've got they've got the Hoth. The Hoth monster. What do they call it? The like Hoth up on the screen for Tellez. It would have made more sense to have Jabba the Hutt up on the screen for Tellez. 2 strikes. That was a strike. Tellez wants a timeout to rethink his life. There's no hope right here, man. It's 1-2 on you. Gusto has your number. Mark says, old Astros third baseman used to hang out at the shops I worked at. I used to tell him we were going to be scab players during the strike. He was funny. Or was funny. Yeah. Scab players. I remember those days. Here's the next pitch. That one's low and inside. That evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. Gusto's got the call he wants. He comes set on the rubber. Here's the toss. And the dirt. The curveball missing way down. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Diaz is going to take a little break. Stroll out to the mound. Have a little chit-chat. Astros nursing a massive 1-run lead, 2-1, here in the top of the 4th. Gusto doing relatively well so far. He's got a run on second with 2 outs. He gave up the solo home run. That's been the only run so far. Can't complain about his effort so far. If he gets out of this, he's got a good solid 4 innings of work. And at his 57 pitches, he could reasonably get through 7 innings. He could. Just remain calm. Get the out. Let's get the K. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Tellez. Just a little too far outside, ball 4. He missed by about 3 inches, guys. That's 2 inches more than the umpire likes. The umpire likes 1 inch outside the zone. 2 runners on. Don't really care too much about that runner on first as long as there's not a long ball. Leody Taveras comes to the plate. He's the guy with the solo homer. The good news is that he's only batting .219 this season, and he went after that first pitch. That's where he got his homer. It was luck. It was luck, it was. Here's the first pitch to Taveras. Low and inside, ball 1. Curveball missing. Oh, man, this is good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff, this. Here's the pitch. Another one way low and inside. Same pitch. Curveball. 81 miles an hour. Even further inside than the last one. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 runners on. 60 pitches now for Gusto. He's trying to get out of this inning. He hasn't given up a run yet. Set up a wall. That one's outside. 3 straight balls. 2 inside, 1 outside. 3 balls and no strikes. He's not pitching to Taveras. Why not? It's not like he's hitting really well this year. He got a lucky home run on the very first pitch, man. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. That's grounded straight to Dubon. Fires it over to first. Good job. Gusto gets out of it. Gives us a little bit of drama, but he goes true form and shuts down the Mariners. Couple of hits for the Mariners that inning. 2 runners stranded, but they come away with nothing. Gusto's now gotten through 4 innings, giving up 3 hits and 1 run. Astros up 2-1. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Due up for the Astros in just a moment. Christian Walker, Victor Caratini, and Jake Myers. Let's check out the live stream right quick. See what's going on. Jordan says I had to go back and hear again about the 9 runs without Paredes. Yeah. Pretty interesting, isn't it, that the Astros were going crazy. Basically, everybody was getting hits. They were scoring runs. Altuve scored 4 of our runs. And Paredes couldn't get a single hit. Jordan says, who marked Cabell third baseman? Actually, I want to look something up right quick. I want to see value of Honus Wagner baseball card. Okay, guys, the Honus Wagner baseball card recently sold for $7.25 million. It says it's the holy grail of baseball cards. But how would you even get one, without buying it? Is it possible that there are more good Honus Wagner baseball cards out there somewhere? Is it possible that some private collector has one, or that there's a card somewhere that nobody knows about? I wonder. Walker is at the plate, takes that first pitch. It looks like a changeup, 81 miles an hour. Or maybe not a changeup. That was kind of slow for a changeup, or a bad curve. Right in there. Either way, it was a strike. 0-1. Here comes the next toss. Grounded straight to the shortstop. Crawford, he fires over. Easy play. Very fundamental. Standard play. Man, these glasses are... I hate wearing these glasses while I'm doing the live stream because they hurt my ears and they hurt the sides of my head with these headphones on. But they make everything so clear. All of the TV screens, they make them so clear. I need them.
I need them. I need these glasses. This is my precious.
Maybe I should do the baseball game as Smeagol, as Gollum. Caratini's at the plate.
The first pitch is outside. He's trying to be tricksy, but Caratini no swingsies.
Yeah, I think that would be difficult to listen to, wouldn't it? Next pitch is hit by Caratini out into left center field. The left fielder grabs it. Too much of a lazy fly ball for that to be dangerous. Out number 2. Quiet inning so far. For the Astros bats. First pitch to Myers. He goes after it. Fouls it off. Loses his helmet. I saw somebody make a comment about that the other day in the comment section. They said, can somebody get Myers a helmet that actually fits? He's constantly losing it, and that's true. He fouls this one down the third baseline. Strike 2. It's true. He swings at the pitches a lot at where his his helmet comes off. I call it a hat as a joke, by the way. I'm not being serious. I just think it sounds funny. Because some of my friends are Chinese students that I had before, or even sometimes Japanese, they'll say hat instead of helmet. It's pretty funny. Here's the next pitch. This one's up the middle. Yes, it's going to be a base hit. Another 2-out hit. There we go. The rally has begun, guys. Myers right up the middle with a line drive hit. 1 runner on. Right over the head of the second baseman. He jumped at it. Couldn't quite get it. Cam Smith comes to the plate. Batter number 8. Bottom of the lineup. Starting a rally. Couple inches outside and low. 1-0. "26 hits for Jake Myers just this month, and we still have another week of games. Cam Smith goes really hard out to left center. It's going to go all the way out close to the wall. Myers is around a third. The left fielder is able to cut it off. It doesn't quite get through, but a great hit. A double. That's a double by Cam Smith. He gets to second base. How do you like that? Astros, the 2-out rally machine, that's for sure. That's for sure. Myers might have been able to score on that if he had been running full steam from the time the pitch was going, but he was waiting to see where it would go. Pitching coach comes out to the mound. Going to have a little chit-chat as they face the powerhouse Mauricio Dubon. But Dubon is dangerous, man. He's good in situations like this. He has the ability to get these little hits, poke things through. He can go for the gaps. He's got the ability to do it. He's got the ability to do it. Jordan says we're just waiting for Paredes to bat again. Yeah, let's load the bases up for Paredes. Myers in his hat always. Yeah, it always comes off. Myers should be batting second, Paredes third, Altuve fourth. I don't know. They moved Jake up earlier and he did worse. He seems to be doing fine where he's at right now. First pitch to Dubon is a little outside and low. Good pitch to take. Ball one. Right here, Dubon, just a little simple single. Couple runs could be scored. 60 pitches now with this delivery from Hancock. He comes set, and here's the toss. Dubon hits it out to right field. Looks like it's going to be playable. Pretty deep, all the way back to the track. Man, he gave it a drive. I wasn't expecting him to hit it that hard. I was expecting something much lighter. Well, Dubon ends the rally. He ends the rally. That was disappointing. All he needed was a little single. Why did he swing so hard? Put too much effort into it. Some people need to give maximum effort, but Dubon just needs to give medium effort. He tries too hard sometimes when he's swinging, and it results in a lot of outs or a lot of strikeouts. Right now, Dubon's batting average is .264. It's not terrible, but not good. It's just, so-so. Let's see. Right now in the batting order, the only batter batting under 200 is Christian Walker. Not surprising. They keep Walker high in the batting order, but he's just not coming around. He's batting fifth, and that's probably the lowest they've had him so far. But he just hasn't been pulling through. 5 hits now for the Astros, but 2 runs on the board. Still got the lead. That's the important thing. A dozen people watching. This game not as popular as yesterday's game, but I've got 16 likes, just 4 more to get to 20. If you haven't liked the live stream, I would appreciate you doing so. That would be just great, just great. There are some ways to set up a scoreboard on the live stream where it automatically updates certain game information in real time, like outs, the inning, the score, runners on base, even the strikes, the balls, and things like that. I would absolutely love to have that set up. Then I wouldn't even have to worry about that. I could just show it on the screen. But there is one main issue. I was going to say there were 2 main issues, but paying for it maybe is not the problem because you have to pay for that. You can't get that for free. But I'm just having a difficult time locating where to get that. First pitch. Are you kidding me? Mastrobuoni comes to the plate in the very first pitch. He hits a home run. Can you believe that? I'm not kidding. As soon as we come back from the break, the very first pitch to Mastrobuoni is a solo home run. An opposite field home run. First home run of the year for Mastrobuoni. Are you kidding me? Right out over the plate in the high outside part of the plate. Just barely over the wall. Just barely. Look at that. That's nuts. And now Ben Williamson is at the plate, takes that first pitch for strike 1. Gusto, what are you doing, man? You're killing me here. 2 first pitch leadoff batter home runs given up by Gusto today. Can you believe that? It's like he's not focused on that very first pitch, and he's giving up home runs to guys who shouldn't be hitting them. That's the first home run for that guy. The other guy is batting barely 200. Strike 2 to Williamson. Here comes the next pitch. Check swing on the outside. Looks like that's going to be a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Astros work. Get 2 runs. Mariners just 2 swings, 2 runs. Figures. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No outs. This game is tied 2-2. Astros working their butts off just to get 2 runs. Mariners come up with their leadoff batters. 1 swing. 2 times. Tie ball game. That's nuts. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Way outside. Full count. The Swiffer. Here comes the full count pitch. Williamson fouls that one off. Stays alive. 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Four more likes on the live stream to get to 20. If you guys haven't already, I appreciate you doing that. Here's the full count pitch. Fouled off again. Barely able to get a hold of that one. 70 pitches now for Gusto. Looks like he might struggle a little bit. If he can get through 6 innings without giving up any more runs, that'd be nice. Here comes the next pitch. Way high, ball 4. Man, he missed that one by a lot. Might draw a visit from the pitching coach. I was right. Check it out, guys. How about that? I was right. You give off a leadoff home run and then you walk a guy. I thought for sure that would draw the pitching coach out, and I was right. All right, so Bennett Sousa is going in the bullpen for the Astros. He's warming up. So this visit to the mound does a couple of things for the Astros. It gives Sousa a little bit of time to warm up, just in case. But it also gives them a chance to discuss strategy and, give Gusto a break. Top of the batting order is up now with J.P. Crawford at the plate. Will Bite, welcome back. It's good to see you. Will Bite says the Astros in 2 outs are a strangely good team sometimes. Yeah, it's a regular thing, isn't it? First pitch to Crawford. Just a little high and outside. Ball 1. The fastball missing by less than 2 inches from that corner. How about a double play ball? That'd be nice. Eliminate the runner. Here comes a pitch. No, Gusto goes over to first base instead. Williamson is back. No outs. 1 ball. No strikes. 1 run already with a solo shot. Here's the next pitch, right in the bottom of the zone. Nice curveball. Evens the count 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch to J.P. Crawford. Woo! Man, that barely missed. Outer part of the zone. Could have been called a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike as it stands. 75th pitch of the game coming up for Gusto. Right in the bottom of the zone, 89 miles an hour. Nice cutter. 2-2. Come on, Gusto. Time to power up, man. Two balls and 2 strikes. Next pitch coming up. Let's get another K. We're double play on the way. Hit out to left field. Looks like it's going to be just out of play. Out of Altuve's reach. And if anybody has a short reach, it's got to be Altuve. Although when he bats, it's like he has a 6-foot pole. Another 2-2 pitch on the way in just a moment. Long delay by Gusto. Now here's the pitch. Fouled off again. With this next pitch, Gusto will be up to 78. I'm starting to think we probably won't see Gusto in the 6th inning. We could have if he had been able to get through this inning okay, but maybe we won't see him in the next inning. If he gets through this one even. A little outside. Another full count. This could actually be the last batter if he walks Crawford. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I don't think they're going to let Gusto go through the top of the batting order pitching like this if he walks him. But he can get the strikeout. Come on, let's do it. Hits high in the air. That's going to be playable. Center field. Altuve is over. Left center. He makes the catch. Williamson goes back to first. 1 away. Yeah, it looks like they're going to go ahead and take him out. That's going to be it for Gusto. Ryan Gusto, 5 1/3 or 4 1/3 innings. Bennett Sousa is going to come in for the Stros. Not a bad game, man. You didn't do bad. Just 2 pitches. 2 pitches that if he could take back, man. Can you believe that? Literally, the only runs that Gusto gave up through 4 1/3 innings were solo home runs off the very first pitch of the inning. To the leadoff batters. The same exact thing twice. Can you believe it? After that, he just kind of locked in. But this inning, he was a little off. And Bennett Sousa is going to come in. So I'm going to change that information on my screen. Oh, let me see if I can get a Bennett Sousa anime picture. I don't have one of those yet. I need to get one. Bennett Sousa. Where is he at? There he is. Copy. I need to go to the AI tool. Great. Let's see here. All right. Bennett Sousa. Okay, the AI tool is making another image for me, for another anime image for Bennett Sousa. So I'll have that up on the screen in just a moment to replace Gusto's picture. We're about to get another anime image for Bennett Sousa. Can't wait to see what it looks like. It's going to be hilarious, I'm sure. Right now, the Astros have 1 guy on here in the top of the 5th with 1 out. First pitch from Sousa is on the way against Jorge Polanco. He shows bunt. Pulls back at the last moment. Ball 1. One 0 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Sousa. This is hit high in the air. Should be playable for Altuve. No, Pena's out. He's going to take it. There we go. Out number 2. Good result right there. Good job, Pena. 2 pitches, and Sousa gets the out. Yes. Yes, I have a great one of Sousa. Yes, this anime picture is great. It's great, man. This one's perfect. I can't wait to get it on the screen and show you guys. All right. Next batter is Julio Rodriguez, who takes that one high for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Yes, how you like that? Check out that picture of Sousa on my screen. That's great. All right. This is hit into center field. Myers is underneath it. Out number 3. That's right. We've got the powered up Sosa who comes in, gets the final 2 outs. No more damage done in this inning. All right. Excellent, said the chicken. Bennett Sousa gets the job done. We go to the bottom of the 4th. I'm sorry, the bottom of the 5th. I had the wrong inning on the board. Why did I do that? Why did I have the wrong inning on my scoreboard? My bad, guys. It is the bottom of the 5th, not the 4th. That was my fault. Fix that. Got a dozen people following along right now. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Still sitting at 16 likes, but it's difficult to get more than that when the viewers are so down. Why are the viewers so down today? Compared to yesterday, the amount of viewers is drastically different, I think. Let me open up my analytics and take a quick look and see if I can figure out what the deal is here. Concurrent viewers is pretty steady, 13, but that's a little low compared to yesterday. I think yesterday concurrent viewers was over, maybe it was up at like 23, 20. Yesterday I had consistently 20 viewers at the same time. So it's a big drop today, almost, maybe it's just 60% of what it was yesterday. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate, the top of the batting order for the Stros. Right off the bat, he's going to take a timeout for some reason. Not quite ready yet. Pena was hit by a pitch his last at bat, and he scored. Let's see if he can do something similar this time. He fouls that first pitch off. 0-1. Five hits for the Stros, 4 for the Mariners, but the game is tied at 2. Here's the pitch to Pena. Fouled off at the plate again. Astros continue to make contact with the ball off of Hancock. Hancock only has 3 strikeouts this game. Gusto had 6. Pena hits this one hard to right field, but it should be playable right at the warning track. And it is. Taveras puts it away for out number 1. Yeah, Astros did get the Paredes 2-run home run earlier, but they had to get the runner on base to get that extra run. They had to do a little bit more work to get this. Speaking of Paredes, he's at the plate right now, about to get his first pitch from Hancock. Here it comes. Right on the inside lower corner, strike 1. Home run leaders in the American League this month. Paredes is tied for second place with 7. Here's the pitch. Woo, up and in. Almost got him on the hands. 2 balls and 1 strike to Paredes. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Fouled off. The 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, goes sailing off into the crowd. Behind the plate. Everything's a little quiet right now. Chat's quiet. 15 viewers watching. Thanks for being here. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Misses. Ball 3. Full count. 1 away, no runners on. Altuve on deck. The man is on deck. Here comes the next pitch to Paredes. A 3-2. It's rocketed right through the left side. There's a base hit. Altuve's going to come up with a runner on and 1 out. All right. Hit number 6 for the Astros this game. So Paredes gets the 2-run homer. Altuve, how about another one in the Crawford boxes like yesterday? Altuve goes on a home run streak, leads the whole MLB over the next couple of months. That'd be my dream come true right there. That's what I would choose. 70 pitches on this next delivery, but they're going to have a little meeting on the mound about it. Raleigh having a little chit-chat. There's nothing we can do about Altuve. He's going to do whatever he wants. So, just letting you know in advance so you don't get too worked up about it. Yeah, I got it. I know it's Altuve. Pretty sure that's what they're saying. Live stream has been going now for 101 minutes. Thank you guys for being here, listening in. The meeting on the mound is finally broken up. Paredes is on first base with 1 out after his single. Jose Altuve waiting for the 70th pitch of the game. He's 2 for 2 today. He's got 2 singles. Very hot since yesterday against these Mariners. Submariners. Here's the pitch to Altuve. He goes up the middle. Very first hit. Single again. 3 straight singles for Jose Altuve. Very first pitch. All of that talking, all of that chit-chat. And the very first pitch, Altuve just goes right up the middle with a line drive hit. Look at that. He's like, I don't care what you're talking about. Don't you know who I am? You guys don't realize who I am. You can have all the meetings on the mound you want, but I'm hot. I do whatever I want. That's my man right there. 3 for 3 today. Yainer Diaz at the plate. First pitch way outside and low. Maybe this is the point where Mr. Emerson Hancock gets shaken up. Ball 1 to Yainer. Career hits versus Mariners. Altuve moves into number 4 position. Yainer Diaz hits this one straight up. Is it going to be out of play? Thankfully, yes. The catcher has no play. Strike 1. Another foul ball there by Yainer. Strike 2. Next pitch, right on that outside edge. Wow, I don't know how the umpire didn't call that one a strike. Right there. But ball 2, dangerous pitch to be taking. 2-2 is the count against Diaz. 2 runners on, first and second, with 1 out. Here comes the next pitch. Way outside, try to get him to chase, but that ball was not anywhere near chase-worthy, not even for Diaz. Full count. Christian Walker on deck. He might have a good opportunity to redeem himself. Here's the next pitch. Diaz fouls it off. 95, 96 mile per hour fastball. Back-to-back singles. We have 2 runners on, first and second. Here's the pitch to Diaz. He hit him. Full count, and he hit him right on the arm. Crowd is booing, of course. Loaded bases now for Christian Walker with 1 out. Yep. Right on the elbow. Luckily, right on that brace, that arm protector. I think it also bounced off the catcher. That's a couple of this game that have hit the elbow pad of the Astros and the catcher. Poor Cal Raleigh getting smacked with the friendly fire. This game is tied with bases loaded, 1 out. Christian Walker at the plate. Just a little outside, maybe a few inches. Good take. Ball 1. Astros just start walking in runs. That'd be hilarious. Just walk them in. Walk them in. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's hit hard to left field, all the way out to the wall at the warning track. It's going to be caught, but the Astros should get 1 run, and they do. Sacrifice fly. It's deep enough to get Paredes in. Astros take the lead again. Nice smack, deep enough to score another run. The Astros retake the lead, 3-2. 2 away. But Walker with a nice swing right in the zone. Good smooth swing, didn't try too hard. Perfect. That brings up Victor Caratini, the Batman. That first pitch is out of the zone and inside for ball 1. 1-0. We have runners on first and second still with 2 outs. That means rally time, baby. Come on, Caratini. Caratini hits it to the shortstop, J.P. Crawford. He steps on second. That'll be the 3rd out. But the Astros retake the lead, 3-2. 7 hits now for the Stros. 4 hits for the Mariners. We go into the top of the 6th. Pretty tight game so far. Pretty tight game. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Got 17 likes. 3 more to get to 20. If you haven't liked the live stream, please do so. If you are a Houston Astros fan, also you can subscribe. I am at 375 subs now. I'm just one dude, one guy. Every single thing that you see on the screen is me just building my channel over a long period of time, building all of the assets, locating the scoreboard. I'm still trying to get some of those kinks worked out. The graphics, I'm able to get some help from AI tools to make the graphics, but like the live chat on screen and the some of the other elements on the screen and all of those things, I build those myself by hand. It takes many, many hours to do this stuff. So I built it over a long period of time since last summer. Last summer is when I started this channel. So I have limited funds to put into this channel. But since I have the time to do it, primarily because of health reasons, that's keeping me from going out and working a full-time job here in Japan, I'm trying to build this channel. It's very important, this channel, to me. Important part of what I'm doing to rebuild my life, restore my health, build my career, and take some big steps forward. So I appreciate very deeply your likes and subscriptions. They're very important to me. Of course, donations are always welcome, but you know, that's a short-term support thing. Subscribing to the channel and liking the videos are much bigger help because it helps me to grow. It helps the channel to grow. That's really important to me, so I appreciate that. Sosa is back on the mound. Shut down the last 2 batters to get out of the last inning. He's now facing Cal Raleigh, the catcher for the Mariners. Swing and a miss. The 86-mile-per-hour slider Slides right past him. 0-1. Jordan says I was hoping for a walk. At least we're ahead now. Yeah, a walk would have been nice, you know. Kept bases loaded with 1 out. That would have been good. But yeah, at least like you said, we got the lead. Raleigh rips that one into left field. It bounces in front of Altuve, so there's a leadoff base runner at first. 5 hits now for the Mariners. No outs. Top of the 6th. Top of the 6th. Here comes the next pitch to Arozarena. Right in there, 85-mile-per-hour toss. A slider getting right in there. 0-1. Here comes the pitch. Right in there again. Another slider. Identical pitch. 86 miles an hour. 0-2. If he throws him anything at all that looks like it's going to be in there, but it's not, he's going to swing and miss it. That's all he's got to do is to find that pitch. Here it comes right now. Nope. Too far inside and low. That one wasn't fooling anybody. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Try again. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt. Check swing. Did he go? They say he did. Heck yes. A delayed request by Diaz to get that call. But they say he went around, and I'm glad they checked because he definitely did go around. Look at this. And there's no way that wasn't a strike. He definitely went around. Yeah, he did. Look at that. That was obvious. The home plate umpire could have called that. 1 away. 1 runner on. Nice strikeout of Arozarena. And he rolls right into the dugout. Rowdy Tellez, the Mariners' resident dad bod, comes to the plate. Espada is going to come out to the mound. Looks like, are they going to pull Sosa? Yeah. Sosa is going to be out, and Sean Dubin is coming in. They're going to have a pitching change. Okay. I guess they want a lefty or a righty, or just for some reason they want to change right here. 1 away, 1 runner on. Rowdy Tellez at the plate. And Sean Dubin is going to come in. Sean Dubin. Let's see here. I'm going to get his image into the... He needs the anime treatment, right? I got to give him the anime treatment. Let's see here. Okay, I've got the AI making a new anime image for Sean Dubin's portrait, so we'll have another one in just a moment. These are really funny looking. Can't wait to see what it looks like. Anything going on in the chat? Not yet. Nothing new. Okay, good. I'm not behind. I am ahead. I'm ahead of the count. My coffee is empty, but I don't want to make a 3rd cup of coffee. I'm glad that I cut the grass yesterday because of all the rain last night and this morning. I think it's going to be nice. And I was able to burn some of the stuff. There's a lot of dead grass that's been out there for a few weeks since it was last cut. I was able to get that and kind of mix it in with the new grass and burn. Living out here in the countryside, I'm also able to burn all of my burnable garbage. So it's nice. I can just toss all that stuff together and burn it in the backyard. It is so quiet out here, guys. You have no idea. At night, all you can hear are the frogs. Sometimes you can hear the deer. Have you guys ever heard a deer? They make noise. That's crazy, right? All right, I got the Sean. This is a good one. This Sean Dubin is good. The Sean Dubin anime image is perfect. These images are just perfect. First pitch is a little high to Dylan Moore. Sean Dubin. There we go. Boom. Here's the next pitch from Dubin. That's outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Dylan Moore. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. A little bit of a delay by Dubin. Now here it comes. Misses by a couple of inches above. 3 straight balls from Dubin. 3-0. Three and 0 pitch on the way to Moore. He's probably going to be taking right here. He almost got hit. I guess if you're going to walk somebody, you might as well try to hit him. Dubin wants a different pitch. 2 runners on now with 1 out. So Dubin comes in. I don't know why they pulled Sousa out, to be honest. I don't know what Espada was thinking. But Leody Taveras comes to the plate. He's got a double today. No, not a double. I'm sorry. He's got a homer. That's right in the bottom of the zone. The first strike from Dubin. 82-mile-per-hour curveball. 0-1. Oh, 1 is the count. 0-1. Here comes the toss. This is hit hard to left field, and that's going to be down for another hit. Altuve brings it in quick. They're going to try to send him home. Is it going to make it in time? Yes, plenty of time. Great throw. Right on target is Altuve. He easily gets him at home plate. How do you like that? Mariners got greedy, and Altuve makes him pay at home plate. What a great play by Altuve. Gets it on 1 hop, brings it straight in. 1 hop to Diaz, and gets him by a mile. Three for 3 today, and a great throw. Look at this. Man, how do you like that? 1 hopper straight to Diaz. That brings up Miles Mastrobuoni. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here comes the first pitch from Dubin. Right in there. Good pitch. Curveball on the inside edge. Strike 1. 1 walk and a solo home run for Mastrobuoni. He's one of the 2 Mariners that started the inning off with a very first pitch homer. Lucky swing. Here's the next pitch from Dubin. Another curveball right in there. Strike 2 in the bottom part of the zone. 0-2 just like that. Let's see what Dubin has up his sleeve now. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. A little low and inside. Another curveball, but that one missed. 1-2. Come on, Mastrobuoni. How about you become Strikeroni? 1-2 pitch. Grounded right up to Pena. He gets the bouncer. He fires quickly to first base, and they get the out. 3 away. All right. Dubin does it with a little help from Altuve. Astros preserve their lead 3-2. The denial by Altuve with the throw from left field. The 1 bouncer to Diaz gets the runner at the plate. Yeah, they thought, hey, Altuve's out there. Let's run. They paid for it. We go to the bottom of the sixth. The Astros are coming up in just a moment with Jake Myers leading it off, followed by Cam Smith and Mauricio Dubon. It's the bottom three of the Astros batting order, which has been doing a lot of damage to players, or to teams rather. Well, to some players, to the pitchers, but to teams. Right now, Myers and Smith both have hits in this game. Dubon yet to have a hit, but the game's not over. Astros up by 1 with the opportunity to put some more runs on the board. Jordan says, Altuve all-star defensive left fielder. Well, that was a great play right there, that's for sure. And he's having a good game, 3 for 3. And then that great throw. 18 likes on my live stream, thank you so much. Kind of hard to get to 20 with 14 people viewing. I guess it's a slow day. Maybe it's... That's the thing I think is interesting about the weekend. Whenever the weekend games roll around, it's like people are doing so many other things. Not so many people are watching the games. I kind of thought it would be the other way around. But maybe the games are more interesting to watch during the week. Evening games during the week. League leaders. They're showing the league leaders for outfielders this month. Jake Myers is number 1. Speaking of Myers, he's at the plate. Takes that first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Next pitch is hit hard to left field. That's going to be another hit for Myers. Rips that one into left field. How do you like that? Lead-off single for the Astros here in the 6th on a 1-0 count. Still can't get the helmet to stay right on. How does he even hit the ball when the helmet's getting right into his eyes? Crank it up, Cam. Cam Smith at the plate. Here's the first pitch. A little far inside. I wonder how much longer Hancock will stay in the game. 1 ball and no strikes. 85th pitch of the game for Hancock right here. Low and outside, actually in the dirt. Good take. 2-0. 2-0 is the count. Hancock looking for the pitch. He gets what he wants. Comes set. Here's the toss. Foul tip strike. 94-mile-per-hour fastball. Strike 1 goes into the glove of the catcher. Woo! Another swing and a miss there by Cam Smith. 95 on the outside edge. The count is even, 2-2. He's barely getting a piece of it. Jake Myers' OPS is over 1,000 right now. Nuts, right? That's like Jordan stuff. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Smith takes it inside. Myers is stealing. Is he in there? They call him out. Yeah. He didn't get anywhere near it. It was pretty obvious. He got thrown out. Nothing to look at there. That's unfortunate. Why would you do that with no outs? Look at that. Yeah. He got him by a mile. It wasn't even a great throw. It was okay. Man, why would you do that? Give Cam Smith an opportunity to... See, right there? Look at that. Give Cam Smith an opportunity to move him around, and he would have right there. You got a guy on first with no outs, and you're stealing. Why would you do that? Now we'd have 2 guys on base with no outs. But as it stands, Cam Smith on first base only with 1 out. 90 pitches coming up for Hancock in just a moment to Mauricio Dubon. He doesn't have a hit yet today. He flew out to the warning track. This is a pop out, looks like. Yep, to the first base side. Weak first pitch swing, not surprising. Dubon does that a lot. Out number 2. One swing, one out. One swing, 2 outs. That brings up Jeremy Pena, top of the batting order. He takes that first pitch on the outside edge for a strike. A Swiffer. 81 miles an hour. Here comes the next toss to Pena. Grounded up the middle. Looks like an easy play to second. They step on the bag, and that's going to be it for the Astros. So, couple of hits for the Astros, and they strand one. Myers also caught stealing. Nothing doing. We go to the top of the 7th, guys. Astros up 3-2. Very close game. Too close for my comfort. I predicted that the Astros would get 5 runs this game, so they have 3 more at-bats at most. Well, unless the game is tied, but if the game is tied, they'll have at least 3 more at-bats. But as it stands right now, 2 more primarily to focus on to get some more runs, some more insurance runs. But we'll see. How many people are following along right now, listening in? It seems that we still are at 14. It's been consistently 14 for a long time, so I would imagine that most of you guys are listening in. I appreciate you hanging around and following along. 18 likes on the live stream. Two more to go to get to 20. Let's see if the Astros are going to have a pitching change. Right now, Dubin is still listed on the screen as the pitcher. We'll see if there's going to be an update there. All right, guys, we are in the top of the 7th. Sean Dubin appears to be still on the mound for the Astros. First pitch on the way. Swinging a miss. No, he's not. Brian King is in. They didn't update the information on the screen. My bad. 1 strike. Swing and a miss there. And I need to change the picture on the screen to Mr. Brian King. Magnum PI, baby. Magnum PI is in. This ball is hit high in the air into center field. Put away by Myers. 1 out. 2 pitches, 1 out. Mr. Magnum PI getting the first out. King, my favorite reliever of the Astros relievers right now. Fouled off by J.P. Crawford. Williamson was the one who just flew out. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch from King. Ooh, just barely missed the top of the zone, maybe by an inch. 92 miles an hour, 1-1. I was expecting the umpire to call it, but he laid off. Here comes the next toss. That was in the top of the zone too, but hit opposite field by Crawford. He's able to muscle that one over. Stops at first base as Altuve brings it in. 1 runner on with 1 out. just over the glove of Isak. Paredes almost nabbing that one. Couldn't quite get to it. King and Diaz just had a little meeting on the mound. Jorge Polanco is out of the game. Mitch Garver is in as a pinch hitter against the lefty, Brian King. First pitch is on the way. Nope. He goes to first base. Easy toss over to first. Crawford is back, no problem. 1 out, 1 runner on in the top of the 7th. Double play ball. Here's the pitch. Right in there, 79 mile per hour. Swiffer starts the count off with 0-1. I need 2 more likes to get to 20. Just 2 more. Help me out, guys. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove of Diaz. 0-2. Another sweeper Swiffer, 79 miles an hour. There comes 0-2 pitch. Just a little high and outside. The fastball, 91 miles an hour, missing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Come on, Mr. Magnum PI. Here comes the next pitch. That one's low, below the zone by a few inches. Counts 2-2. King throwing it around the zone, trying to see where Garver's gonna go after it. Looks like the Swiffer is the best pitch for him so far. Strike 3, 93 mile per hour fastball, just above the zone. It looks like he found his kryptonite finally. Brian King with the strikeout. Out number 2. 7 hits for the Mariners, 9 for the Stros. This game is tight, 3-2 Astros. 1 out away from moving this into the bottom of the 7th. Espada's going to come out. Are they going to take King out already? Really? Brian Abreu's coming in. Wow, okay. 2 outs, 1 runner on. King will go and have a seat. He did everything that Espada wanted him to do. And now they're going to bring in Abreu to wrap up this inning and probably, if he gets out of it quickly, pitch the next inning. I know that I have a Brian Abreu image here. I can get my Abreu anime image for you guys. That's going to be cool too. I'm really liking these profile images. Of course, the one for Brian King is very different because I asked it to create the Magnum PI style, but I need to readjust it to the 1:1 ratio size because it's not the same size as these other ones that's being made right now. But I'll get to that later. No need to worry about that at the moment. Not at the moment, but it is making me a Brian Abreu avatar. Got a baker's dozen following along. Thank you for hanging around. My gratitude to you. It is about 11:15 here in the morning in Japan. I've got a lot of things to do around this house after I finish up with this live stream. I got the rest of the day free to do some cleaning and work around the house. The first pitch from Abreu is about to come to Julio Rodriguez. And that's just above the zone. A fastball, 97 miles an hour, ball one. Yeah, that's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. This one's pretty good for Abreu. I accidentally typed in Abreu. Swing and a miss on the slider. Strike one. Next pitch from Abreu. On the way. Hit hard to right field, and that's going to be all the way out to the wall. Might score a run. He's around third. They're going to wave him home, and he's going to get there. RBI double. Julio Rodriguez. Abreu gives up the run there with the double. Rodriguez opposite field, right down the line. Couldn't have been more perfectly placed to get that run home all the way from first. Didn't come off the wall very cleanly either. Came in just a little too late. I don't know why Diaz didn't try to make a tag there. Man, this game's tied 3-3, and this has hit a monster hit into right field all the way out. Foul. It is fair? No, it's fair. Are you kidding me? Abreu gives up a double, and then he gives up a two-run homer back to back. Astros are now down by 2, and the crowd is booing. 5-3 Mariners with 2 outs. Umpire said fair ball. It looked foul to me from the angle that they showed. But it hit the pole. Look at that. It was only a couple inches. It literally hit the pole, guys. Next batter is Randy Arozarena. He takes the first pitch for strike one. Just like that. The Astros are up by 1. Now they're down by 2. Thanks to Brian Abreu. He's given up 3 runs. Next pitch to Arozarena, swing and a miss, 99 miles an hour. Very disappointed with Abreu right now. Should have kept King in there. I don't know why they pulling him out. Despite him making the bad mistake there. Way outside for ball 1. Ah, man. What are you doing, Espada? Why would you pull out Brian King? Here's the next pitch. This one's hit up the middle. It looks like Myers can make a play, and he does. That's out number 3. So finally, they end the inning, but not before giving up the lead. 9 hits now for the Mariners and 9 hits for the Astros, but the Mariners are more efficient with 5 on the board. What in the world is going on with Joe Espada pulling out Brian King? He only had 1 runner on. I think he could have gotten through that inning for sure. He wasn't struggling. He was doing fine. Pulls in Abreu. Abreu gives up 3 runs. Back to back. Yeah, Mark, you missed the fun. Astros are doing just fine. King had 1 runner on and an out. The spotter decided, you know what, I'm going to bring in Abreu early. Abreu gives up 3 runs. Gives up a big double that scores a run. Runner from first base. And then the very next batter, a 2-run homer. Just like that. 2 batters, 3 runs. Why in the world? I don't understand. Now the Astros are down by 2. So the Mariners get the 5 runs that the Astros are supposed to have. Can you believe it? It's not gusto. It's Brian Abreu that gives up most of the damage. The sad thing is that one of those earned runs is going to go to Brian King, but he doesn't deserve that He doesn't deserve that earned run. It should stay with Abreu. He deserves it because the runner was on first base. Jordan says it figures. Yeah, it's like old Astros baseball, like last year's Astros baseball, right? Bottom of the 7th coming up. Who's due up for the Stros? Isak Paredes, Jose Altuve, and Yainer Diaz. Altuve's on fire today. Paredes is also having a good day. He's got a 2-run homer and 2 hits. We got our best hitters at the plate coming up right now. Best performers in this game. Let's get something started. 11:20 in the morning here. I don't even know what I should do first. I guess I should just try to focus on getting my rooms cleaned out. It's raining outside. There's nothing to do out there. I'm glad I did all of the outside work yesterday. I did a lot of grass cutting, repositioned my satellite dish, and got all that taken care of, so that's good. Now I just need to focus on getting some stuff taken care of inside. Isn't that interesting? They took a poll to ask who would be the home run champ this year. 64% say Isak Paredes. That's interesting. Only 23% say Jordan. But, if he's not in the games, it's a little difficult to be the champ. Matt Brash is on the mound for the Mariners. The Mariners finally have a pitching change. I do not have his picture. I need to get his picture uploaded on the screen. Matt Brash. That's not the right folder. First pitch to Paredes on the way right now, and low, almost in the dirt for ball 1. Next pitch on the way. That's on the outside edge for strike 1. Next toss on the way. 96 right in there. That's sinker. 1-2 is the count to Paredes. Jordan says, Ken Caminetti, one of my favorites. Really been blessed with a third baseman. Yeah, that's true. Wow, that ball was in the dirt. Bounced to the backstop. That dropped so much that the catcher couldn't handle it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Paredes. Mark says, they've been good after 7th. He said, if you take my job, you deserve it. Lone outside in the dirt again. Full count. Sixth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Here it comes. Ripped foul. That was an inside pitch. Could have been ball 4. But Paredes went after it. 97 mile per hour sinker, and he ripped it early. Man, he got around on that one. No outs here in the bottom of the 7th. The Astros suddenly down by 2 after giving up 3 runs in the top of the 7th. They've got a little work to do to come back. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again. Two of the Astros runs coming from the bat of this guy right here at the plate. He socked the ball, Paredes. He hits this one hard to the left side. Diving catch by the third baseman. He makes the throw over to first base. Out number 1. Nice play. But 1 out for the Stros. Nice catch. Jordan says I'd sell once these guys get going. Time to restock the farm. Altuve's at the plate. He hits this one foul. Strike one. 0-1. Altuve with 3 singles today. Sacrifice fly and 2 home runs yesterday. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Outside, way outside. The slider missing. 1 ball, 1 strikes. 1 strikes. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, man. I need to get some food. Another one way outside. 96 mile per hour fastball or sinker. Take your pick. Off the plate. Comes the next pitch from Brash. Altuve grounds this one to the shortstop. Crawford fires it over and gets him at first base. That's the first time they've been able to put Altuve out today. It's not a good sign for the Astros if Altuve doesn't keep going. You know the old saying, as Altuve goes, the team goes. Have you heard that before? Doesn't bode well for the end of this game. They just showed some highlights of Alvarez running. Diaz is at the plate, and in Diaz fashion does a half swing on a ball that's way out of the zone and in the dirt. Strike one. Looked like a Swiffer. If you want to sweep Diaz away, that's what you do. You throw the Swiffer. Another slider there, low and away. 2 terrible pitches in a row, way off the plate and in the dirt. Diaz goes after both. I really wish I could just eliminate that one aspect from Diaz's bat. Just that one thing. He almost went after that one. That one, maybe it's because it wasn't low and in the dirt. It was way outside. He started to go after it, but it wasn't in the dirt, so he held back. I'm really busting his chops right now. 1-2, here's the pitch. He check swinging. There was another one low and outside. He almost went after it. Man, Diaz really bites on that crap. These pitchers really know their scouting reports on Diaz. 2-2, here's the pitch. Another one low and outside, but he doesn't go after. He's like, that's all you're going to throw him. I'm just not going to swing at all. Okay, maybe now it's 3-2. Maybe now he tricks Diaz because Diaz has literally had nothing but pitches way outside and low. So maybe now he goes right down the middle and Diaz is not expecting it, so he just takes it. Let's see. Here's the pitch. He does take it, but it's a ball. It's low. Ball 4. Yeah, you missed the strike, man. Brash could have had the strikeout if he'd just thrown it in the zone. I think Diaz would have taken it for sure. Because that's all he was getting was pitches low and outside. Christian Walker comes to the plate. He's got the big old handlebar mustache going on. Brash and Raleigh are going to have a meeting of the minds on the mound right now. Yeah, I would too. If there's one batter in the Astros lineup that I would have a problem with and need to talk about, it's the one guy who's struggling the most. Batting 197 for the season. No hits in this game, but he does have an RBI with a sacrifice fly, so he's got that. He's got that. But even so, the Astros are down by 2. Yeah, Mark, the pitcher is definitely not happy. All he had to do was throw a strike right there. I think it would have gotten him. Christian Walker with 2 outs. Runner on first. Is this a rally? Here's a pitch. Outside, ball 1. I think that maybe Brash, the pitcher, he forgot that this is not Diaz. This is Christian Walker. Walker doesn't chase stuff like that typically. He's going to have to find a different strategy. See, did it again. Low and away, check swing. Not so easy to do that with Walker. Look at his name, man. He's Walker. Here's the next pitch, the 2-0 delivery. He grounds this one to third. A hop by the third baseman. He grabs it, fires it over. That's going to be out number 3. Just like that, they leave Diaz on first base. I was so happy for Diaz to actually get that walk. He didn't really earn it, though. He got lucky. But Walker strands him. We go to the top of the 8th. It looks like the Astros are going to have to take, at least right now, we don't know what's going to happen in the 8th inning, but it looks like the Astros might need the bottom of the 9th to try to get back in this one. But I would prefer them to do something in the 8th. We'll see. Top of the 8th coming up. 5-3. The Mariners have retaken the lead. Or taken the lead, rather. 9 hits for each team. No errors. Jordan. It says Diaz a walk. We're champions again? Yes, that's right. We're champions again. Jordan, you said just throw Walker trash. I think that Walker has got a really good eye. It's not so easy to throw garbage pitches to him like you can to Diaz. You really have to try to make it look like it's going to be in the zone. If you're going to throw a breaking ball, you got to make it look like it's going to be in the zone. You really got to try to work harder to fool him. It's much harder. Usually his pitch counts go up higher. But because he's not hitting the ball well, you don't really have to worry about if he hits the ball. Just throw it in the zone. Let him hit it. Throw it in the zone. Let him hit it. Because he's not hitting the ball hard. He grounds out just like he did. He'll ground out. He'll fly out. He'll pop out. He's just not getting hits. So why bother? Just throw him a ball in the strike zone. Let him hit it. That's what I would do. Jordan says, really, if we make the playoffs, Walker will kill it. Well, he might. Maybe he has the cool composure to handle it. Because when he bats, yeah, he's not hitting well. But, man, he's got a good eye. Abreu remains in the game for the Astros. Whoa, I just realized I had I'm going to get a copyright for that. I had the game stream on for way too long. All right, Dylan Moore is at the plate for the Mariners facing Brian Abreu. First pitch on the way. Little inside, almost nicked him. Ball 1. Yeah, it kind of sucks if I forget to stop my preview on the screen. I get a copyright message. That's a strike. 84 mile per hour slider. So I have to keep limiting my highlights of the game to just a few seconds. I can't keep it up there for too long. Here's the next pitch. Just a little outside. Misses with the slider. Carlos Vargas is going in the bullpen for the Mariners. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Abreu. Swing and a foul tip miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jordan says the team is deflated. Yes, right now they kind of feel deflated. After yesterday, it's sad. Swing and a miss, a strikeout. Abreu with a little bit of gas there. 98 miles an hour. Buzzes it by him. What away. Leody Taveras comes to the plate. Mariners are 20-0 after leading after 7 innings. Astros would be the first team to beat them this year if they come back and win it. 1-0 in the pitch to Taveras missing. Here comes the next toss. That one's hit hard into right center, and that's going to be down for a single. 10 hits on the night. Runner on first with 1 out. They're hitting the ball pretty hard off of Abreu right now. Not typical of him this year. He's been pretty solid overall. He's only had a couple of real problems so far in relief. Miles Mastrobuoni comes to the plate. 1 runner on, 1 out. Here's the toss from Abreu. No, he goes to first. Did they get him? Yes, Abreu picks him off at first base. Taveras knew he was out. He was very disappointed. How do you like that? Great pickoff by Abreu. Check this out. Boom. Yeah, man. How do you like that? Abreu. All right. Yes. Heck yeah. 2 outs. No runners on. First pitch here. Right in the bottom of the zone. That was a strike. How did he call that a ball? It was a strike in the bottom of the zone. Well within the zone. The whole ball was in the zone. He called it a ball. That one's a little high and outside. 98 miles an hour. Man, ump, what are you doing, man? Don't help them. They got the lead already. Don't help them. 2 balls and no strikes from Abreu. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Ball 3. Thanks a lot, ump. Abreu takes a moment to gather himself. Miles Mastrobuoni at the plate with no runners on. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Right in there. That was not very different than the one the umpire called a ball. Right in the bottom of the zone. 96 mile per hour fastball. Almost identical. 20th pitch of the game for Abreu coming up. He misses low and inside. Ball 4. So he replaces. Abreu puts a runner on, picks him off, and then replaces him with a walk. It's like he's hitting himself. Abreu's hitting himself. Why are you hitting yourself? Ben Williamson comes to the plate. 9th slot batter for the Mariners. First pitch is on the way outside for ball 1. One and 0. Runner on first. 2 outs. Top of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Another one way outside and low. 98 miles an hour. The fastball missing big time for Abreu. You got to pitch against these guys. This is the 9th. These are the bottom of the batting order guys. You got to pitch to these guys. You can't be doing that. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. No, he goes over to first again. This time, he's back. Next pitch, 2-0. On the way. Swing and a miss, 97 in the bottom of the zone. Finally puts it in the zone. 2-1. Ryan Whitley, is that who's warming up in the bullpen right now? 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Abreu. Swing and a miss again. 99 miles an hour on that one. Yeah, just put it in there, man. You don't have to do anything fancy. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. 25th pitch. On the way from Abreu in just a moment. Here it comes. 100 miles an hour and fouled off. Right in there. Runner was off to the races. He's going to have to trot back to first base. Two-two pitch on the way. High and in, 98 miles an hour. Whew. Ball 3. 3-2 with 2 outs. Big out right here. J.P. Crawford on deck, the top of the batting order. Abreu needs to get this guy. Here comes. Nope, he goes over to first again. Runner gets back. That was a good time for a toss over. 3-2 pitch on the way. Runner is going. Strike three right down the middle. 87-mile-per-hour slider. Good, good, good. Okay. Struggled a little bit, but got through it much better than the last inning, Abreu. Much better than the last inning. 10 hits in total for the Mariners. Astros have 9 hits. 5-3 is the score. Mariners up. We go into the bottom of the 8th. The Astros will be up in just a moment, starting off with the Batman Victor Caratini, Mr. Baseball Jake Myers, and then crank it up Cam Smith. Let's see what these guys can do. Jordan says you're right. Just throw Walker right down the middle. I would. Seriously, I would. I mean, I wouldn't just lob it down the middle, but I'd say put it in the strike zone. Just always put it in the strike zone. It doesn't matter what he does. Not playing like this. Jordan says, what does a copyright cost you? Well, it's kind of silly. It's almost useless. It says your material is copyrighted. It's claimed by, this MLB affiliate or whatever, but it doesn't affect my channel. It's like, okay, so why bother? But what I like to do is I go back and I clip that part out of my video. And here's why I clip it out. Even if it says you're allowed to use it, which is the case 100% of the time. They always allow me to keep using it. But here's the deal. If I allow that clip, that copyrighted clip to remain, then if there is any advertisement revenue in the future on that video, then they will get the money, not me. I would rather just cut that section out, because usually it's like a short section. I just leave it going for too long. Maybe I leave it going for like a minute, and I don't mean to do that. It's just an accident. So I just go back and I cut out that 1 minute section. And then there's no more copyright claim on the video. And in the future, if there's any ads or ad revenue, I will get that, not them. So it's in my best interest to cut it out. You said you'd always be copyrighted. It's easy to forget, man. That's why. I mean, a lot of these controls, I have to use a lot of manual controls. Carlos Vargas is now in the game for the Mariners. I have his picture in my folder, so that's an easy replacement. First pitch to Caratini is going to be on the way in just a moment. Here it comes. This is hit up the middle, played with a backhand by the second baseman. He fires over and grabs him a little out on the first pitch to Caratini. 1 away in the 8th inning. That brings up Mr. Jake Myers. Check swing on the inside. They call a strike there. Not so sure about that call. I don't think he went around on the check swing. I guess he was calling it because he thought it was a strike, but looked too far inside. Fouled at the plate, 99 miles an hour. Myers got around on that, but couldn't straighten it out. 0-2 is the count. That's something I haven't seen Myers do a lot of this year compared to last year. Last year, he was always 0-2. But he's been so much better this year. I've always felt sad about how Myers hasn't performed really well at the plate, because in the field and every other aspect, even base running, I mean, he's fast, he's a smart base runner, he's a smart player, he's great in the field. He doesn't have like the most powerful arm, but he's a great center fielder. He was just missing the batting element. So seeing him this year has been great. He hits this one to center field, speaking of that, but that's going to be an easy fly ball and out number 2. Rodriguez puts it away, and Myers is retired. 2 outs. Astros showing nothing so far, but once again we have 2 outs, so maybe it's rally time. Cam Smith comes to the plate, batting 8th in the lineup. Is it rally time? Is it peanut butter rally time? Smith with the bouncer to the shortstop, and he beats the run at first base. He beats the throw, rather. He beats the run. Yeah, Cam Smith is so fast, he beats his own run. Bouncer to the shortstop side, backhand by Crawford, but with the over-the-shoulder throw, just not able to get it there before Cam does. It was a great play, but Cam Smith easily beats that out. Boom. Yeah, by a step. One runner on. Here comes the rally. Dubon comes to the plate. First pitch swing. Yes. Opposite field. Yes. I knew it. First pitch swing. Cam Smith the second. Dubon once again. That's what I was talking about. He should have done his last at bat when he had the opportunity with runners on. All he had to do was just do that. Just a little opposite field hit. That's what he's good at. That's all he needed to do last at bat, but he tried really hard to get a big hit, and he flew out. Runners on first and second with 2 outs, and that brings up the Flash, Jeremy Pena. 19 games, I just found out. At home in Houston, Pena has 19-game hitting streak. This will be the 20th hit. Here comes the pitch in just a moment. Vargas trying to figure out what to throw. He steps off the mound. He's like, I don't know what to throw to this guy. I don't know what he's going to do. Now the crowd's booing because the pitcher steps off the mound. No hits yet for Pena today, but right here would be the best time for it. Vargas finally gets the pitch that he wants, and here it comes. In the bottom of the zone, 97, just barely misses. Woo! Ball 1. It looks like the catcher and the pitcher got crossed up. He wasn't expecting that. Look at this. He's like, whoa. He was expecting that to move, and it didn't. He wasn't expecting that pitch. A little communication error. Communication breakdown. The crowd is getting pretty loud right now. Can't blame them. 2-out rally time. The Astros are back up to 11 hits. They're in the lead now. 11 hits to the Mariners' 10. Big hit by Pena right here is what we need. Come on. 1-0 is the count. Runners on first and second. Vargas takes a really, really long time. And now Raleigh is going to have to come out. The bat boy's going to run out. They're going to take a look at the pitch comm. The crowd is getting really, really loud in Dykene Park. Mark says, what happened to the second batsman? I heard they signed another to a minor league deal. Second baseman? Oh, you talking about Brendan Rodgers? I don't know. That's news to me, but I'll check it out. Past couple of days I've been busy because I went to Hiroshima for my doctor's appointment and I've been trying to get some stuff cleaned up around this house. But I will check into that, Mark. I wouldn't mind getting a second baseman who can hit the ball. I mean, actually, I'd rather have a really solid left fielder who can hit the ball. Put Altuve back at second. I'd rather see Altuve on second. Personally, that's just me. 1 ball, no strikes. Finally, Vargas is back up on the rubber, and he's got the pitch he wants. Here it comes. Jeremy Pena rips it just foul down the third baseline. Probably for the best that it was foul. The third baseman looked like he was right on it. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Looked like Cam was already running on that play. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Pena bounces it to third, kind of slow, and he steps on the bag, and that's it. Just like that, the Astros rally is ended with a soft tapper to third by Pena. Big disappointment. Astros are going to need at least 1 more inning to try to get back in this game. So they don't do it in the 8th. They had the good opportunity, couldn't do it. The crowd was there, the support was there, and they fudged it. Top of the 9th coming up. 11 hits for the Stros, 10 for the Mariners, but the Mariners are leading 5-3. They take the lead in the 7th inning. The Astros lead it for 6 solid innings, basically, but just by a hair. Never leading by more than 1. And now they're down by 2 with 1 more opportunity. Mark says, I heard they signed a first-round pick from a Florida team. I wonder. I think I can probably look that up right quick. Astros sign second baseman. Let's see. That's funny. When I search online, I don't see any information about it. I just see a bunch of news articles about Brendan Rodgers. Josh Hader is now on the mound for the Astros. The 6th pitcher for the Astros this game. All right. Very first pitch is hit way out into left field. Altuve is underneath it. Puts it away for out number 1. Good fundamental play there. J.P. Crawford with the easy fly ball. 1 pitch, 1 out for Josh Hader. I haven't even had an opportunity to get his anime image yet. I am trying to get it now. It's being created as we speak. Mitch Garver at the plate. Whoa, half swing strike. That was a nice pitch. Half swing. Fooled him. 0-1 is the count with 1 out. Here comes the next pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. Nice slider. Strike 2. He doesn't swing at that one, but he should have. Yeah, I got another nice anime image of Josh Hader. All right. Next pitch coming in just a moment. Mariners have some guys warming up in the bullpen. Here's the pitch from Hader. That's hit into center field. Myers is underneath it. Puts it away. 2 away. Nice quiet top of the 9th so far. Julio Rodriguez comes up with 2 outs, no runners on. First pitch from Hader is on the way. Right in the top of the zone for a strike, 95 miles an hour. 0-1. Jordan says Florida's a good team. Next pitch is low and outside. Count is even, 1-1. Come on, Hader. Shut it down so we can get into this 9th inning and win this game with a walk-off. Swing and a foul at the plate. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Isaac Paredes, Jose Altuve, and Yainer Diaz are due up for the Astros. I'm not sure what's going on there. Rodriguez calls a timeout, walks way out of the box. The umpire comes over and he's like, "You all right, bro?" I'm not sure exactly what was the deal. but all right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hader is back up on the rubber. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just barely missed up and in. 96 mile per hour fastball. Or sinker, as they label it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Man, that was not a bad pitch. Crowd's a little too quiet right now on that 2-2 count. This is a bouncer to Pena. He bobbles it and fires the first. Does it get him anyway? Yes, he does. Whew, that was close. Pena with a bobble there for a moment, but he was able to get it over for the third out. So Hader does his job with just a few pitches. 3 up and 3 down gives the Astros the best possible opportunity, the best possible chance they can have here in the 9th inning. Last chance for the Stros. They've had 11 hits this game, and they've only converted that into 3 runs. 2 of those coming off of Paredes' 2-run shot. The good thing is that the best guys performing so far in this game are due up, starting with Paredes and then Altuve. But unfortunately, Diaz, he's only walked this game. He hasn't done anything else. He struck out and he walked. That's all he's done. But he's been left on base a couple of times, so, you know, I think he got hit. I think he got hit on the elbow. Hit by pitch, walked. He's doing his best. God bless the guy. He's doing his best. Jordan says, I didn't expect anything there. The 9th I'll expect more from. Walk-off is always better. I wouldn't mind a walk-off. That'd be great. Mark says he said he struggled, so they cut him. Good deal for minor league pay. Jordan says Rogers might be great one day, but he needs to be in AAA now. Yeah, nothing about Rogers right now impresses me. I would say he's kind of what I would consider to be your very strong definition of just an average player, all around just average player. I don't understand why they have him on second whenever Altuve is available, and they have a better guy to put in the outfield. Just a more experienced left fielder. I'd rather see DeCinzo in left field than Altuve. I want Altuve to be at second. I don't like it when I see Rogers at second when Altuve could be there. It's just my preference. People can debate about whether that's better or not, but I'd rather have DeCinzo and Altuve in the game for batting, that's for sure, because Brendan Rodgers isn't doing anything. Andres Munoz is in the game for the Mariners. First pitch to Paredes is on the way. 99 right on the outside edge for strike one. Andres Munoz. Next pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss on the outside edge. Paredes takes a little timeout. 0-2. Come on, Paredes. You can do it, man. This is the 9th inning. This is it. Here's the pitch. This one's hit hard to center field. Going to be catchable. And it is. Out number 1. Line drive to center field. 1 away. Jose Altuve coming to the plate. No 2 RBI opportunity for Altuve, but he can bring the Astros a little closer. Is he going to be a hero again today? I mean, yesterday the Astros were all over the place with the scoring. He's 3 for 9 against this pitcher. Fouls that one off. Strike one. Four-seam fastball, 100 miles an hour. Oh, 1 is the count with 1 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch to Altuve. He swings at that one too, bounces it foul. It was in the bottom part of the zone. 98 miles an hour. Munoz just throwing the heat to Altuve so far, 198. Is the next one going to be 99? Whatever it is, Altuve has been getting the bat on it. 3 for 4 today. Let's make it 4 for 5. Altuve waiting for the pitch. The 0-2. Here it comes. That's a fly ball into left center. Both players are over. The center fielder takes it. They almost run into each other. 2 fly ball outs for Paredes and Altuve. All right, now it's 2 outs. The rally can begin. The walk-off victory in the 9th inning can start now. We have 2 outs. Yeah, the farm system has been terrible for a long time, Jordan. Here's the pitch to Diaz. Diaz flies out, looks like it's going to be. Very first pitch. Second baseman is out, and he's got it. And that's going to be it for the Astros. Unfortunately, no rally for us in the 9th inning. It's going to end 5-3. The Astros lose the game. But you know what? Once again, it's one of those things. You know, the Astros have to get some runs on the board. Can't leave it all to the pitchers. Got to score runs, and they don't even get more than 3. League average is 4. They don't even get to that. So let's do a quick review. I don't want to spend too much time on this game. When the Astros lose, I just don't care so much about reviewing, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's what I do. The scoring summary for the game. In the top of the 3rd, Taveras homered on the very first pitch of the inning. The leadoff batter, 1-0 off Gusto. And the bottom of the 3rd, the Astros would get on the board with a 2-run homer by Paredes, taking the lead 2-1. And the top of the 5th, once again, Gusto gives up a very first pitch home run, solo home run, to Mastroboni. And that tied up the game 2-2. In the bottom of the 5th, Walker hit a sacrifice fly, scoring Paredes, giving the Astros the lead again, 3-2. But that's where the scoring would end for the Astros. From the 6th forward, nothing. The top of the 7th, the Mariners put more runs on the board with a double by Rodriguez and then a homer by Raleigh. They scored 3 runs that inning to not only take the lead, or not only tie, but also take the lead 5-3, and that's where the game would end. Not a really bad game for Gusto, just a bad game for Astros relievers, particularly one that shall not be named, or shall we name him? That would be Abreu. One of those earned runs went to King, but I can't blame him for that run. I consider Abreu to have 3 earned runs. That's in my book. But Gusto today pitched 4 and a third innings and gave up just 4 hits. Had 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. Not bad. But Abreu really caused the Astros to get things out of control, to allow the game to get out of control, and the Astros bats not scoring runs. These are the problems. But that's the thing. When the Astros aren't scoring like they're supposed to, like they should, like they can, it causes games like today. Jordan says, I'd play Altuve on second. Yeah, you agree with me? That's good. If we're out of it, come the trade deadline, we better retool. Yeah. We definitely need to think about it, especially with Walker. What do we do with Walker? Yeah, and you're right about Rogers. If he hits the ball well, it's fine. But if he's not hitting the ball, he's useless. We don't need a second baseman. We need a guy who can hit the ball. So I don't care what position they are, as long as they can hit the ball. Mark says, I'm out. Thanks for the feed. No problem. Thank you for being here, Mark. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, everybody else, for being here. All of the comments and the discussion, the likes, and everything. We did get to 20 likes, so I got to my goal. Thank you so much for that. We hit 20 exactly. Jordan says, I like Espada, but this team needs a La Russa type. We definitely need a guy who makes some better decisions and is a little stronger. I think that Espada sometimes is kind of like Dusty in that he goes with like his feeling or his, it just, I think that there are moments where you have to use common sense because I'm a big believer in your gut. If you have a gut feeling, you go with your gut. But there's a big difference between, I'm going to go with this guy versus I have a gut feeling. A gut feeling is not going to happen every single time. Sometimes it's just common sense. You don't need your gut feeling because it's common sense. You make this decision, and the common sense decisions sometimes are what a spot misses. Like why did he bring in another pitcher when he could have just left King in there? And he paid for it. That was a bad decision. I knew that was a bad decision. No fire with this team. Not right now. It comes in spurts. We have some little explosions here and there, like yesterday. But then you get back to like the norm, the baseline, which is today. The game tomorrow, let's take a quick look. I'll give you a preview of that. Game 3 tomorrow is going to be much earlier. I think it's a 5 o'clock a.m. game for me, which is not a big deal. I can get up no problem for that one. Framber Valdez will be back up on the mound facing off against Brian Wu. Valdez is 3-4. His record doesn't show how effective he's been, but once again, his record is because of a lack of run support primarily. Go figure, right? It should be a close game tomorrow. Wu is 5-1. He's getting run support, whereas the Astros haven't been giving Framber run support. But I'll be here for that game. I look forward to seeing you guys there, and that's all for me today. Jordan says, I don't blame you. At least you didn't have to wake up at 3 a.m. to stream. Yes, man, I hate. This is another reason why. It's like, why? If the Astros are just tearing it up, I'm happy to get up and stream at 2 or 3 a.m. I'm excited about it. But, because of my health and trying to recover and my sleep schedule and stuff, getting up at 2 or 3 is already difficult enough. But, man, to do it with them playing like this, that's terrible. I wouldn't be able to do that at all. But I'll be here for Game 3 tomorrow. Game 4, we'll see. I'm not so sure. If the Astros play at garbage tomorrow with the bats, maybe I'll take Game 4 off and sleep instead of getting up. But we'll see. That's all for now. I guess there's only one thing left to say. Yeah, you're right. We fuzzed out. We exited early, Jordan, from the playoffs. That's true. But anyway, thank you again for the likes, the subs, the comments. Glad to have you guys here and have you come back. See you tomorrow. And until then, Geaux Stros.